And we are back. I apologize for cutting that duct tape short, but the players are ready. The casters are in. The lobby has been made, and we are diving into game number 1 of our first semifinals on this channel. We did just get updated. The upper semis has already ended. Solar versus Haas was going on. It was being casted by Biomorph as well as Rotterdam, and Solar did take the series 3-0. Not a massive surprise, but apparently it was a lot of fun. So now we are all here in the lower semifinals, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Polish Protoss player. He is blue. He is representing Team Exxon. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right, but also throwing down a cheeky proxy here, a pseudo proxy if you will, we have the Mexican Terran player. He is red, representing Team Exxon. It is SpeCial. Oh my. So I was talking a little bit about this before the break, very short break, but if you weren't here, SpeCial, he's a very solid player. He is the best player from Latino America, representing that region well, also living in Korea, playing in GSL whenever he can, but he does have a weakness, and that is Protoss. And that is well documented, and he's been very vocal about it as well. He has struggled against Protoss in the past, so we'll see if he's able to make it happen here against Gerald. He is playing a little bit cheeky. It does, you know, at a glance it looks like a proxy, but the Rax isn't across the map. It's here. It's still on SpeCial side of the map. It's just meant to deceive your opponent. A lesser player would, you know, freak out at this and then think, oh my god, there's like a proxy Rax across the map. But Gerald did stick around with his probe. He's being annoying with it, and he confirms, hey, it's not really a proxy. The Reaper even comes home to help deal with the probe. Like, Gerald knows that, like, he's fine. He is perfectly fine, and as a result, Gerald, he's expanding, he's taking his natural base, he's kind of just chilling, he's chillayin' at home, working on his Stalker. Oh boy, good start here from Gerald. Nice cheeky start by SpeCial. He isn't necessarily behind in any way. Like, sure, his like production is a little bit out there, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's fine. He can float it over. Could definitely be worse. And we'll see what he can get done. The Reaper does jump into the main base, but there is a wall, so doesn't really find a way in. He does scout the Twilight Council, so now he can cross off Stargate. He knows that there is no Stargate opening coming out here from Gerald. SpeCial is well aware of the potential for Blink. I'd be surprised if Gerald memes it up and throws down a Dark Shrine behind this and goes for like some DTs. The more standard thing to do is to go for that Blink. But we'll see as, ooh, the Reaper and the Hellion do sneak in past the Stalker at the natural, forces a recall as well. Oh my god. This is ideal here for SpeCial. SpeCial, he's getting a couple of worker kills. More importantly, again, he forces a recall, forces all that energy to be wasted and all the units to come back home, gets another full scout, sees that, hey, there's nothing researching at the Twilight Council, which is a little bit odd, to say the least. And eventually this Reaper will be dealt with, but again, it's survived for so long. There it is. Finally, Blink does get started. Oh boy. Meanwhile, of course, SpeCial is being a little bit even more cheeky. This isn't just a standard Widowmine drop. We do have an armory on the way as well. It's looking to finish up, and we even have a second Widowmine drop being set up as well. So SpeCial looking to be incredibly aggressive, putting the reaction time of Gerald to the test. We'll see how good it is. So far, so good. He does pull the boys away, does force one shot. Here comes the other Widowmine. Okay, there we go. Also forces the probes off the line, so not a lot of damage done so far. Oh my god. SpeCial being very annoying here, keeping this Widowmine alive. The armory is done as well, so detection is required to deal with it. Oh boy, meanwhile, here come the second drop. Meanwhile, it was dealt with. Yo, did the armory not? No, yeah, the armory did finish. Here comes the second drop into the natural base. We can deal even more damage. The thing is that there's already an observer with the main force. So yeah, there's just not that many probe kills happening here for SpeCial. Oh, did I speak too soon? Only one probe. Meanwhile, here in the natural base, this Widowmine still hasn't gone off. Can he get more than one? Only one. So in the end, 4 Widowmines for 9 probes in the end, but when it comes, again, a lot of those probes went down to the Hellion and the Reapers earlier, if you recall. So 4 Widowmines for 4 probes, not the best trade for SpeCial, especially because he did invest in this armory as well. But what is important is that there was a lot of lost mining time. Not just that, but he was able to scout the entirety of the main base and the natural. He saw that there was no influx of gateways or anything crazy like that, so he knows that he is perfectly safe at home, and he is safe to drone up, to SCV up, worker up, if you will. SpeCial even saw the third base, so he knows that Gerald is looking to be a little bit more economic and tech up and get into the mid game. We'll see if SpeCial can keep up. At the moment, I imagine we're going to be seeing, yep, that third CC is thrown down within vision of the observer of Gerald. Gerald has full eyes on everything. At the same time, the Raven is diving in here for SpeCial, looking to get some damage. And it looks like this auto turret will get more than 1 probe. It does get 2. Nicely done. Finally, some damage. Meanwhile, there we go. A scan gets thrown down. He sees the tech. He sees the robo and the robotic spay. He sees it researching as well. I mean, sure, there is a chance that this is War Prism's speed and a disruptor, but more than likely it is Colossus with extended thermal lance. And with that SpeCial, he knows exactly what Gerald is going for. Meanwhile, Gerald, yo, he's hunting down that Raven and he gets it. Oh. Nice pick off there by Gerald. Honestly, that's pretty massive. Ravens are so good in this matchup. They can disable high-tech units. They can throw down the auto turrets or even the anti-armor missiles. Meanwhile, ooh, my god, he gets the tank. SpeCial, he tried to save it. He boosted in with the medevac, but he was just a little bit 1 second too late. Oh my god, and with that, there is no anchor point for this army. There's no Raven, there's no tank. It is only Marines and Marauders and 2 medevacs. He scans, he confirms the army. Ooh, he sees a lone Colossus, but instead, he picks up and he goes into the main. And we'll see what he can get done here. Again, Gerald is completely out of position. He has to maneuver all the way up into the main base. So far, he does stim into the main mineral line. Does get a handful of workers. Ooh, even depowers that forge. Nicely done there by SpeCial. And SpeCial, now he's starting to pull Gerald apart because his main army, his reinforcements are looking to try and hit his third base or his natural. Yo, that Colossus is so vulnerable. God, at the same time, we do have that drop once again in the main base of Gerald. Gerald does have a couple of stalkers there to defend, but not that many. And again, that Colossus is so exposed. The Colossus, it goes down. And not just 1, maybe 2 as SpeCial. He's steaming on forward. There's nothing to protect the Colossus. There it is. 2 Colossus do fall. Even forces the probes off the line. Gerald, he was being a little bit too greedy. He was not focusing on his main army, on his production whatsoever. And so far, he's holding. But there's just far too much here. There's just a massive rally going across the map for SpeCial. The third base is under threat. Not just that, even if this gets cleaned up, he already killed 2 Colossus. That is well worth it. And there it is, the third fall, 16 SCVs. There's 1 more Colossus remaining. Overcharge is being used to keep all these units alive, but the shield battery does get focused down. SpeCial, he's looking to kill his opponent, even picks up and lands his Marauders on top of the Colossus, and he's gonna get it. He's so close, he's so close. That Marauder wasn't focusing on the Colossus, please. And there it is, the Colossus does fall. GG gets called. And SpeCial takes game number 1. I had to do the trumpets. But wow, what a game. Gerald, again, he was being a little bit too greedy. He was focusing on his worker production. He was expanding. He was teching up. He was lacking in gateways, and SpeCial, he just went in there and just tore Gerald apart. He was in the main, he was at the third, he was at the natural, and Gerald, he was trying to defend with what units he could, but again, Colossus is so vulnerable, especially when there's no buffer for them, when there's no zealots or stalkers or anything to protect them. And just like that, SpeCial takes game 1. As a reminder, this is a best of 5 series, so there's still plenty of games to go, but a very strong start here by our Mexican Terran. And there we go, we are looking to dive straight into game number 2. Finally, we are getting a new map. It's something that we haven't been able to see today. Today, we've just been stuck on all the old maps, on Lightshade, on Romanticide, on Jagannatha, on Oxide. These players, they just haven't been playing on the new maps, except for now. Finally, in the semifinals, in this best of 5, we are getting into Blackburn. LE. Blackburn, of course, being the map with all the slow zones, as well as that gold base. I have seen a couple of Zerg players and even Protoss players take advantage of that gold base and take it early on and really snowball. But we'll see if that comes into play here in this TvP. It is a little bit more difficult to pull that off on this map, in this matchup specifically, just because of how aggressive the players can be. I don't think we're going to see an early gold base. We're not going to see a Gangnam or anything crazy like that, but we'll see. We'll see what these guys have in store for us. As we get into game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right, we have the Polish Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Exxon. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Mexican Terran player. He is red, representing Team Exxon, as this is a team kill. He is also up 1-0 in this best of 5 semifinals. It is SpeCial. And we are here to find out who will face Solar in the grand finals. Regardless, it's going to be a monumental task for either one of these players to go up against Solar. Solar, one of the best Zerg players in the world, one of the best Zerg players in South Korea. Again, I do think that Gerald has the better chance against Solar, but he needs to get there first, you know. SpeCial, he's looking pretty good so far. We casted him last night. 2 nights ago, actually. We casted SpeCial in ESL Open Cup Asia, and SpeCial got 3-0'd by Stats pretty hard. Stats knocked him to the ground, but you know what? Gerald is no Stats, and they are teammates as well, so maybe they do practice with each other. These two are maybe a little bit more familiar with each other as well, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Gerald to really sneak one over on SpeCial. Boy, but we'll see. We'll see how this map plays out. Again, we are on Blackburn, one of the newer maps. For the first time today, we are on Blackburn. Finally, we get to see one of them, one of the newer maps. I'm very excited. And there's a lot that comes into this map. There's a lot that goes on. One, the most important thing, we got a bot over here repairing, just, you know, working 9 to 5, doing what he can, making sure all the circuits are in place. Also over here as well. That's the best part of this map. We also have plenty of slow zones. We got slow zones outside the main base of each player. We even have this massive Reaper platform that goes into the main, and you can siege up a tank here. You can abuse this location a little bit as a Terran player. Speaking of abusing things as a Terran, yo, we got an engineering bay in the natural base. Oh my god. This is not something you see every day. Not something you see at all. Interesting decision here by SpeCial. Obviously, SpeCial, he will be able to cancel this whenever he needs to when it gets low enough. And it will disrupt a lot of mining here in the natural base. It's going to be very annoying. Even forces a probe to attack it. But yes, we do have slow zones in outside the main bases. We even have slow zones here in the middle of the map as well, and they can definitely come into play. We have rocks all over the place. We got rocks here to the south, rocks in the middle, rocks to the north, and there is a gold. So there's a lot that can come into play here on this map. We'll see if the game even lasts that long, because yo, SpeCial is being a little bit aggressive right now, does force the shade on the Adept. The Adept does get into the natural base and does force some low smiting time. So nicely done there by Gerald. Honestly, he needs to do something here to the economy of SpeCial, just because of this very annoying engineering bay. Incredibly annoying. Finally, it does get dealt with. And Gerald isn't doing anything special. This is what we saw from him last game. He went for a Twilight Council. The Robo was a little bit later than in game number 1, but we do see Blink on the way. We're going to see, I imagine, a Warp Prism. And we'll see how Blink Stalkers do on a map like this. Meanwhile, SpeCial is not going for a Widowmine drop, instead going for a bit of a Hellion drop. Looking to dive straight into that main base, is avoiding those slow zones for the most part, but the Stalkers were ready and waiting, but doesn't matter. All 3 Hellions do unload and they're going straight for that mineral line. 1 probe already going down, 2 probes go down. Oh my god, meanwhile, a couple of probes do line up here, ay. And 4 probes do fall to only 2 Hellions so far. Meanwhile, the 3rd Hellion does get into the main base, gets a full scout of all of the tech before he does fall. So 3 Hellions for 4 probes. Is it the best trade? Maybe not the best trade, but what's important about these drops early on for Terran is that they don't just provide some economic damage, they also provide scouting information. Whether it's a Widowmine drop or a Hellion drop or any kind of drop, Raven harass, you are able to see the tech, you are able to confirm the gases, the production, the gateway count, the probe count. And yeah, with that, SpeCial is able to gather all the information he needs. He does not know about the 3rd base quite yet, but again, he knows that, you know, nothing too crazy is coming out from Gerald. Very reminiscent to game number 1 again. Gerald's just slowly working on his production, right? We have a bay on the way again, a Robo bay, if you will. I imagine he's going to go for Colossus again. He's working on his 3rd base again. Hopefully this time he isn't caught off guard by the aggression of SpeCial. Meanwhile, ooh, Bold going through the slow zone, looking to blink into the main base. And SpeCial has no idea. He has no vision. Oh god, the problem is that this main base is so large that this can happen, right? SpeCial, he sees none of this, and Gerald has been able to sneak his way all the way into the mineral line. And with that, probes are falling. Meanwhile, at the same time, probes are falling. As a Banshee does go across the map. Ooh, all these probes at the 3rd base will go down. There is no anti-air here whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Stalkers of Gerald are still dealing a decent amount of damage in the natural of SpeCial. Like, the Marines go down, the SCVs are going down. The problem is that there was only 1 tank. Now a 2nd tank finally does join the fray, but without like tanks being in position sieged up, these Stalkers, they get a lot of damage. And with that, 9 SCVs do go down. At the same time, I believe 4 or 5 probes fell to this Banshee. There it is, 5 kills on a said Banshee. So some nice damage done by SpeCial, especially because this was only a lone Banshee. There was no cloak research. There was no further investment into this Banshee. So some solid damage being done already. And with that, things are kind of evening out a little bit. What is scary is that SpeCial is working up with his army, like he's ramping up, he's got Stim on the way. I still do not see a 3rd base. And SpeCial, he's not banking up for a 3rd either. So he may be looking to pull the boys and go for a big 2-base push. And Gerald needs to see this coming. He needs to get eyes on this, otherwise he's going to be caught off guard. His observer goes in and it's going to be sniped by the Raven. It does get sniped. No more high ground vision. This is terrifying right now, as +1 is about to hit. We do see he is pushing out with +1 with Sim. Combat Shields is a way away, but you know what? Combat Shields, it's going to kick in by the time he gets across the map. And here we go. SpeCial. He's got his tanks, he's got his Marines, he's got his Marauders, he's got +1, he's got Stim. He's even got a Raven this time. If you recall, last time, SpeCial lost the Raven. He lost the Raven and his tank as he was pushing out on the map. But this time, Gerald was unable to do so. He was unable to really hinder this push too much. He does have 2 Colossus, and he does have a unified defensive front. I say that, maybe I spoke too soon. Yo, this Colossus, you gotta be careful, buddy. You gotta chill. Colossus, please. Oh, and this is terrifying. We have missile turrets being thrown down. This Raven is key. It does disable one of the Colossus. Only 2 Colossus remaining to fight, and one of them is exposed. Ooh, almost goes down, but the overcharge was able to just barely keep that Colossus alive. What's important is that as SpeCial is going for this contain, he's expanding. He is throwing down his 3rd base. At the same time, SpeCial is taking his own 4th. Oh my god. They are both so on point with their expansions. As great as that is, are they on point with their army control, with their positioning, with their defense, and with their offense? We shall see. The tanks are shelling away at some of the production. Ooh, we do have a disruptor coming out here for Gerald. That Nova is going to be key here. And I feel like the longer this goes on, the better it is for Gerald, and SpeCial needs to realize that. The problem is that he isn't getting ready to abandon this position. He's getting ready to stay here. Like, he's throwing down depots to provide some like buffer for the tanks, to provide some SimCity. Oh boy, he's here to stay. Oh god, he's being even more aggressive, throwing down more turrets, more depots, slowly inching his way closer to the Protoss. Oh god, here come the Novas. 2 go off. Ooh, and 2 tanks go down. Juicy connections there. I'm not feeling it for SpeCial. I don't know if he should stay here, especially with things starting off like that. Here we go. He does them forward. He's going for it. He does push into the 3rd base. The anti-armor missile does land, but Gerald just collapses on this position from both sides. Yo, the Colossus, though, they are falling to the Vikings, and the Marines are standing strong. And the Marines, they take out the Archon. That is the last Purification Nova, and his SpeCial realizes that he can just go in and take everything out. Instead, he does go for the natural base. Oh my god, he's getting surrounded a little bit. As Gerald is blinking forward, he is able to warp in, just barely warp in a round of Zealots, and Gerald does clean this up. And this is what I mean, like, things started off with SpeCial losing 2 tanks immediately. Like, when you lose 2 tanks like that, like, that's a massive blow to your army. SpeCial, that should have been his cue to leave. Instead, he took that as a cue to commit. We saw as soon as those 2 tanks died, he like stimmed and just went forward. He's like, let's go, let's make this happen. And to be fair, he was kind of forced to, just because of how committed his entrenched position was. Like, he had like what, 4 depots and like 5 missile turrets. Like, he invested a lot in that contain, and he had to stay there. He had to make it worth it. And you could argue it kind of was. He did reset the Colossus count. He did trade armies, but as a Terran player, is that what you want to be doing? Do you want to be trading army against the Protoss when the Protoss has 3 bases and is getting the gold? The Protoss can remake. The Terran, not so much. Especially when the Terran doesn't know that you have the gold. This is bad. Oh god, this is terrifying. Here we go. The disruptors are a little bit exposed, but the Novas do go off. They don't get anything, but they force the army to be lifted up into the medevacs. Gerald now looking to be on the aggressive here with all of these Archons and Zealots. He does back up though, is looking to try and get a better position, is going to be able to take out these rocks, maybe take out the other rocks to the north. Meanwhile, SpeCial, he is inching it closer. He is trying to suss out the situation. What's going on? Meanwhile, we do have a Zealot run by going all the way around the top side of the map, looking to potentially hit this 4th base. And there we go, more rocks being taken out as well. So Gerald, he's just kind of securing his side of the map while also harassing as well. Keeping an eye, he confirms, hey, there's no 4th base here. Oh, nice, there's no gold, there's no 4th. I'm just going to chill here for when the 4th does show up. speaking of, Gerald finally is going to be dealing with these rocks. He waited enough time for his Colossus to show up as well. He has 2 disruptors. How is the engagement going to go for him? One disruptor shot does go off, but it doesn't land on much of anything. It does land on the missile turret. Meanwhile, the Zealots tried to go for a bit of a wraparound. They do reveal themselves, and SpeCial was able to clean them up. Here we go, SpeCial going along at the top of the map. Now it is his turn to start harassing, and this is important, especially because SpeCial still doesn't know about the 4th, he doesn't know about the gold, he doesn't know about the top right, he doesn't know about the 5th either. This drop has a lot of potential to deal damage and really give SpeCial the information he needs to know, like, where he is in this game. God, as he is rotating towards the top of the map. Meanwhile, the main armies are kind of posturing, but SpeCial's defensive position is huge here with all these tanks. I don't know how you push into this as a Protoss player. Meanwhile, we do have the drop finally landing here for SpeCial. He's trying to focus down the Nexus, and it looks like he should get the Nexus if he does click on it, but he's not focusing on it. Instead, he's trying to deal with the Zealots. Oh god, it looks like this drop will be dealt with. He's trying to focus down the Nexus. Can he get it? Oh, he's so close. One more puppy. And he does get the Nexus. Oh my god, he can stick around. At the same time, Gerald, he just couldn't push in. He just, the tank line was far too strong. Now, not just the tank line, a planetary as well. Ooh. Purification Nova does go off. Meanwhile, we do have a decent amount of army picked up in those medevacs. That does mean that these tanks are exposed if Gerald realized what just happened, and the fact that the majority of the buffer just got picked up and is leaving, then now would be go time for Gerald to just collapse on this army. But instead, he has no idea. Meanwhile, the drop is keeping his attention here to the north, and that massive doom drop, I say 3 medevacs full of units, does hit the main base of Gerald. Yo, storms do land, but he does lose the High Templar. DTs are morphed in, and this actually forces the entire army of Gerald back home. Ay. This is not what you want to be seeing as Gerald. Gerald, he does finally clean things up. What's important, though, is what we just saw. Storm is done. With Storm and with no ghosts, SpeCial is in a dangerous position. There is no ghost. Okay. There is a Ghost Academy, but there are no ghosts. Where are they? Where is the ghost production? It's not here, and he's going to need them, especially against this ground-focused army with all these Archons and High Templar. Ooh, War Prism does get sniped. Nicely done there by SpeCial. Here we go, the main army of Gerald is pushing into that natural base location. My god, he's just surrounded by tanks. We got tanks to the north and south. SpeCial, he just shells away at this army. That was probably the worst angle that Gerald could have gone for. And he takes so many losses there, is forced back. Like, you don't want to be going into the middle of this. What, north side maybe, bottom side maybe, but middle? Like, you're crazy. You've lost your mind, mate. Calm down. Meanwhile, Gerald taking another base, 2 for 6th base. There we go, I can count. And SpeCial is finally pushing into the middle of the map with his army, with his tanks. Now he's got ghosts. We of course have the ghost upgrade on the way as well. Ooh. And SpeCial is able to catch the Blink Stalkers here to the north side. I'm just waiting for the moment where SpeCial finally feels confident enough to push across the map with his army. So far, it looks like he was trying to, but he was distracted by these Stalkers. He wants to make sure he's able to deal with them first. Oh, a bit of an unfortunate move command there by Gerald. He does lose an Archon for free. Oh, EMPs! EMPs do land on a lot of that army. Ay. One of those High Templar losing all of its energy. And now, Gerald, he's on the retreat. Ooh, does throw down a storm, is forced to morph his High Templar into Archons, and yo, there are 0 High Templar left. And now he's pushing into tank fire. Just look at this tank line. We'll see if he's going to be able to break it. The disruptor shots do go off. You know what? The Zealots, they are getting on top of the tanks. The reinforcements, oh god, they're going through the slow zone. They're not here in time. And Gerald is able to break through the majority of the tanks. Unfortunately, the entirety of SpeCial's army was not where it needed to be. And now with the insane economy of Gerald, he just warps in a massive wave of Zealots, and mate, Zealots are pretty good. Zealots are a good unit, and that's the problem, right? SpeCial, he was able to kill this top right base once, and that is all the harassing damage that he's done. Like, Gerald was able to get away with this base, with the gold base, with the northernmost base, with the top right base. Like, his economy for the most part has been left unhindered, and that is a terrifying thought. Like, leaving Protoss alone with their economy, that's crazy. And now we see what Gerald is doing with all his money, with all of his resources. He did throw down a fleet beacon. F's in the chat for that disruptor. Oh no, it's not trapped. I thought it was stuck. But what he was spending his money on is this, the carriers. Oh boy. And SpeCial does not have what it takes to go up against Skytoss right now. He's okay against the ground army, but he needs the heads up to switch into Vikings, to switch into a more anti-air focused army, and right now that's just not where he is. Right now he's focused on what's in front of him, which makes sense. It's just unfortunate that he hasn't been able to scout what's in the main of Gerald, and that he's being starved out a little bit right now. We do see the gold base is being taken by SpeCial, but SpeCial, he's out of position. Oh my god, his third base left exposed here. It's a couple of SCVs do go down, but for the most part, SpeCial was able to rotate just barely in time. And for now, he has his gold, but for how much longer? Show me them storms. Oh, the mineral line does get taken out. Only 4 SCVs remain. That does prompt SpeCial to respond, and he runs into the main army, and now the carriers have arrived. They do reveal themselves immediately. A Thor is on the way, but is it too late? This is looking rough. I mean, Thor is going to be a great addition, but what's important is the here and the now. Nice EMP does land on like half of the army, maybe a third of the army. Ooh, solid tank positioning. SpeCial was able to siege up in time. It does force Gerald back. God, but SpeCial has to be careful with how far he chases this, because he doesn't want to fight without the support of his tanks. Oh my god, meanwhile we just see a flanking Storm. Storm does get a decent connection, not the best. Ooh, that was a pretty good disruptor shot though. And at the same time, we do have a little bit of a Zealot run by. It does get into the mineral line. Yo, the carriers are exposed. 1 and 2 carriers immediately go down. Gerald, please, take care of your carriers. They're your boys. They're your win condition right now. You need to keep them alive. Meanwhile, a massive Zealot warp in, but he does run into the Marines, but he doesn't even care. He wants them. He does dive in. The EMPs do land on the Archons, and the Archons immediately evaporate, but the Zealots go on top of the tanks, and you know what? The carriers are looking to just clean everything up. Thankfully, Thors are here. Thor is here. He's here to push away the carriers. What about the Zealots? Oh my god, the Warpin. It's here, and it gets on top of everything. Surrounds the entire Terran army. SpeCial, he has run out of steam. GG gets called. And Gerald takes game number 2. SpeCial was going for a very interesting, like, 2-base push. If you recall, 20 minutes ago when this game started, SpeCial was like being pretty aggressive, pushing out on the map, throwing like entrenching himself in between the natural and the third base of our Protoss player. It was a very questionable move, to be honest, and ever since he lost that position, it felt like Gerald was able to maintain the lead in that series. It felt like it was in Gerald's court, and it stayed there. Unfortunately, SpeCial, he just couldn't really keep up after that loss. Because his third base was delayed, his fourth base was delayed. Like in general, he was behind, so far behind in terms of bases, and in the end, he was just whittled away at. He was just whittled down to nothing, to GG. And with that, we are tied up 1-1. Oh boy. So far, we do have a bit of a back and forth. We'll see if things change here as we are loading into another one of our newer maps. It is 2000 Atmospheres. And spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Polish Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Xon. It is Gerald. Tying up the series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Terran player. Raise your Doritos. For representing Team Xon, it is Juanito, aka SpeCial. And we'll see what these players have in store for us here in game number 3. We're tied up 1-1 in this best of 5. So we still have at least 2 more games ahead of us. And right now it does seem that Gerald, he is on a path to scout for proxies. Or is he? Is he really? We shall see. As yeah, he's just going into the main base. Ooh, SpeCial hiding his second racks here. Goddamn, exclamation mark Funada Vortex in the chat. It's fine, Vortex, it's fine. As here we go. I love this. This is very Innovation X-esque, I should say. Where SpeCial, he does wall off his ramp. And now Gerald has no idea what's in the main base. He doesn't know if this is a fast natural base, like a fast CC. He doesn't know if this is a 1-1-1, or what it is, which is a 2 racks. So nicely done here by SpeCial, denying that scout. Again, just because he denied the scout doesn't mean he has anything to hide. That's what's important about this, because very commonly we see this just for a fast natural base as well. So yeah, this isn't necessarily indicative of aggression, but of course we see that that's exactly what it is. Ooh, as Gerald is coming in for a second scout. Oh, the ramp. The ramp is not a ramp. The probe gets in, but it doesn't really get in, so he doesn't see the second racks. And we'll see how much these Reapers can get done. Already 1 Reaper is across the map. The Adept is here to deal with it, but thankfully SpeCial does keep it alive for now. Oof, but maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, does escape. At the same time, we have 2 Reapers here towards the north side, looking to get straight into the main base of Gerald's. An Adept is here to intercept, and he does chip away at 1 of the Reapers. Let's see how much damage can get done. 1 probe already going down, but immediately 1 of the Reapers does get focus fired by the Adepts. Ay, not the best here for SpeCial. He still does have 2 Reapers alive, but for how much longer? He does get 1 more probe, so 2 probes fall at the cost of 2 Reapers, 3 Reapers. Oh, unfortunate place there for the Adepts, forced to be recalled. Uh-oh, Reaper, please. Can he get out? He will not. So 3 Reapers for 2 probes. Was it worth it? You could argue that maybe the scouting was worth it, but you could also argue that he could have done the same with 2 Reapers. I don't know if the math works out there for SpeCial. Ay. But yes, SpeCial, he was dealt with when it comes to his Reapers. And now Gerald, he's across the map with 3 Adepts, and 3 Adepts are pretty good. Nicely done. SpeCial is on top of his ramp. Is able to make sure those adepts are kept at the natural. They are not let into the main base. Yo, where's the shade? Huh. Huh. No shade. And Gerald does get pushed back, and behind this, he is in fact expanding and taking a third base. Meanwhile, SpeCial, yo, as he does lift the ramp in time, let's quickly check the vision of Gerald. He sees nothing. He does not know about the factory, doesn't know about the tech lab on the starport, that we do have a Raven on the way. And I love this, SpeCial sending out a spotter marine just to make sure he knows what the hell is going on. He sees that there is a third. Look at him go. Beautiful. Meanwhile, SpeCial looks like he will catch these adepts, so he will be able to take both of them down. And nicely done there by SpeCial, not just because he's able to deal with the adepts, but of course the adepts also means scouting information for Gerald. So Gerald, he is a little bit in the dark, but of course he is sending his observer in, and now for the first time this game, he will be able to get into the main base. He sees the second racks. God, a little bit closer. Keep going, puppy. Ah, God. As we see, SpeCial, he is of course working towards a little bit of a Widowmine drop. We have 2 Widowmines ready and waiting for that medevac. There we go. Medevac will be diving across the map. What are the defenses looking like right now? As Blink is completed, we do have Colossus on the way. We don't have that many Stalkers, which is a little bit concerning. Like the main base is completely naked right now. We only have these 6 Stalkers here at the third base. But here we go. Widowmines are going across the map. At the same time, there it is. The Raven is also headed towards the main base. So we have auto turret harass, we have Widowmine drops, and we'll see if Gerald can keep up. As the medevac does dive into the third base. What is there here to defend? There is a Colossus, but that's kind of it. Uh-oh. Okay, he notices. Only 1 probe. Meanwhile, the drop here does go into the natural. Ooh. Doesn't get anything. Meanwhile, the Raven actually didn't go to the main base. Interesting decision here by SpeCial. I love this because SpeCial, his main army is pushing out, and yo, that Raven can come in from behind and disable the Colossus. He's going for it. There it is. Colossus out of commission, but a second Colossus does come in, but doesn't matter because yo, is there enough energy? There it is. An auto turret does get thrown down, and the Marines do get free reign of the third base. And just like that, every single probe does go down in the third. There is enough army here to push away the Terran, I should say, but 14 SCVs went down almost for free. Smooth moves there by SpeCial. At the same time, there was also some auto turret harass in the natural base. Another scan confirms the worker count. SpeCial is going to be feeling good after that. So take a look at the units lost. Ooh, 22 probes went down this game. Look at that economic advantage. We saw it spike in favor of Gerald and then spike in favor of SpeCial. As SpeCial is getting his third base up and running. Ooh, also going for a couple of drops. Sending a drop here towards the right-hand side of the map is a little bit scary. It is a little bit worrisome because we do have a couple of Stalkers patrolling in the area. Oh, he will get spotted by the Zonaga. Just in time. Stalker does get picked off, does float up into the atmosphere, into the 2,000 atmospheres. Ooh, meanwhile, the medevac does get picked off. Nicely done there by Gerald, loses the Stalker, but gets a medevac. At the same time, once again, the main army is looking to hit the third base location. This time there are 3 Colossus. Ooh, even forces a recall, but SpeCial sees the recall, so he does pull back. At the same time, that Raven, yo, that Raven is still alive and still harassing, dealing all this damage. Auto turret in the natural, auto turret in the main. Gerald, he's struggling to this one Raven. Meanwhile, the main army of SpeCial was revealed to Gerald, so Gerald knows the positioning of it. He does maneuver his army in response. And SpeCial backs off. He backs off for now. We got an armory on the way. We got a Ghost Academy on the way for those EMPs. SpeCial, honestly, he's looking really good this game. honestly, like, he's been able to achieve so much, really hinder the economy of Gerald and maintain his own economic lead. I would love a 4th base shortly by SpeCial. He already has 3 bases. Why not throw a 4th down? I don't think like he's in any danger to being attacked right now, so like, why not? But right now, instead, he's focusing on his army, focusing on maybe maxing out first and just going across the map, just sending it, mate. Meanwhile, a couple of spotter zealots and pylons are being dealt with by SpeCial. Gerald does rotate around because he does spot the main army due to the Zonaga. And now Gerald is getting kind of scary as well. We got Colossus, we got Disruptors, High Templar. Storm isn't done yet. So there is a nice window here where SpeCial can hit before Storm kicks in. God, meanwhile, the Stalkers of Gerald do encounter the main army of SpeCial. So he's aware of where it is. Yo, the Disruptor shots, they go off! No splits! Ay, the Disruptor shots, they do land, but the Disruptors do get picked off. The Colossus are laying waste, but you know what? There are enough Vikings to take out every single Colossus. And with that, yo, if the Vikings do land, which they are not, there we go, the Vikings land. They buffer for the Marines and the Marauders, and there is enough here. Oh god, maybe I spoke too soon. Massive connection there with that Disruptor, but it is not enough to take out the army. This Nexus is under threat, and it looks like the Nexus will go down. Here comes another Nova. Ooh, splits are not good enough. I believe the Nova is actually the killing blow on that Nexus, but Gerald should be able to clean up this army. Should. There's only a handful of units here left, but yo, the Disruptor, it's gonna be focused down. Oh, the shield battery just barely keeping it alive. Ay, the full Minivac gets picked off as well. And does Gerald have enough to hold here? Like, SpeCial, he is trying to force this. He's trying to just rally across the map, but he's running out of steam, and he realizes that he needs to back off. And back off he does. Behind this, SpeCial does have a 4th base, not a planetary, it is an orbital. And again, he was able to kill the 4th of Gerald. Now Gerald is forced to take his own, and Gerald is far behind when it comes to the economy. When it comes to the workers, when it comes to the bases. Gerald, he's trying to do what he can here with these Stalkers. What he can do is not much. As he does get pushed away by the buyer. Meanwhile, a little bit of a stellar harass here at the 4th base. Honestly, this is pretty nice. Like, this is dealing a surprising amount of damage for what it is. 2 Zealots getting 5 SCVs. Ay. At the same time, though, Liberator is going into the main base of Gerald, but Gerald has eyes all over the place, does spot it, does deal with it. This Liberator here did get 2 probes, though. Oh. Oh. Liberators, man. Ay. As there is still a Liberator in the main and outside the 3rd base, so at any moment SpeCial can reposition them to hit the mineral lines when he pushes in, so we have to keep an eye on that. He can attempt to pull Gerald apart. And we'll see how this goes. Even though SpeCial does have the army lead, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when Disruptors are in play. Like, Disruptors are pretty good. Oh god, when my shot does land, yo, the Disruptors are exposed, and 1 Disruptor does immediately get picked off. Ay, mate, you gotta look after them. They are your lifeline in this. Like, there's so much potential in these Disruptors. They can deal so much damage. They can really make or break an engagement. You cannot be losing them like that. And just like that, a Disruptor shot goes off for free, and it almost gets focused down. Gerald, please. Hold on, buddy. Yo. EMPs. Huh. God. The Ghost does get dropped on top of the High Templar. No Storm is available as everything gets EMP'd, and now we do have SpeCial just converging on this army. We'll see if it's going to be enough. The Disruptor shots, yo, they do land. God, that was a beautiful purification nova. Is it enough though? That is the problem right now, because more disruptors are getting picked off. A couple of Colossus do join the fray. Oh god, and the novas, they just keep landing. God, the ghost does go down as well, and now finally, for the first time this game, Gerald is laying siege to one of the bases of SpeCial. The Nova does go off. Oh my god, the splits are not there, Papi! Papi, what's going on? Split, please! It's too late! The Nova went off. SpeCial, he loses his army. He loses all of the SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, SpeCial, maybe he can hold on the high ground, maybe, but he has no ghosts. He has 2 Vikings. Oh god, at the same time, the Liberator does siege up. Some damage is being done, which is great and all, but yo, we got 4 Colossus. We got some Storms. We got some Archons. We do not have Disruptors. Doesn't matter though. The boys are being pulled off the line. SpeCial, he's desperate right now. Ah, the Storms are landing. And it looks like there's just too much Protoss here. Like, the Marauders are trying to stim. They're trying to get on top of the Colossus, but there's just not enough of them. The Viking falls. GG gets called. Gerald takes game number 2. 3 even. Hello from Chile, papi. Bienvenidos, Daniel Azo. Danielazo. Ah, I get it. 1987. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Welcome, Tin Flash. Welcome. Ah, SpeCial. Juanito was doing so well. He was doing so well, but again, like, let's not forget here, because it was a pretty long game, but like, he hit the 3rd base, he killed 16 probes, like, he killed the 4th as well. Like, SpeCial was doing so well, but towards the end, it did feel like he was starting to run out of juice. Not as like mechanics wise, like we saw less splits, like we saw the disruptor shots were getting better and better over time. To begin with, like the purification novas were not landing, but over time, like, oh god, they definitely were. And eventually Gerald was able to trade well enough. It was very scrappy there towards the end, incredibly scrappy, but Gerald was able to take it, and now he is up in this series. As a reminder to everyone, this is still a best of 5, so even though Gerald took the game, SpeCial still has a chance. I love ESL Americas. Is that a pun? Is that a play on words because of how early it is for Europe? If you're living in Europe right now, you're insane. You should be asleep. You should be asleep right now. It's an awful time for Europe, but but also you are incredibly passionate if you are here, just like Gerald. You know, Gerald, it's like 4 a.m. in EU right now, and he doesn't care. He's still here. He's still playing. He's still competing. Bueno, fue GG. Sí, sí, GG. Oh boy. Right now, SpeCial did ask for a bit of a bio break. He's going to go to the bathroom for a little bit, so we are just waiting a little bit on him. When he does come back, we will dive in. Boy, as we are ready, sorry, we are just waiting. We are waiting for SpeCial to come back. Until then, What happened with the split, Juanito? Hello from Denver. Denver? My God. Alright, we're back. Oh, race! Race! Let's get SpeCial back in here. Oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, like SpeCial was doing so well in that game, but eventually, like the purification Novas were. Imagine if like half of those Novas hit instead of all of them, right? Like, then SpeCial would have been able to hold on. Then SpeCial would have been able to just barely like defend each time. But yes, gracias. We really appreciate the support in the chat. We love you guys. Again, normally, I'm here with a co-caster. Normally, I'm casting with Milk and Cookies. But today, starting this week, Milk, he's working on Mondays. So he can only join me for the first half of the broadcast. So we were here. He was with me for the first half. And now for the semis and the finals, I will be casting alone. Oh boy. But it's all good. It's all good. It's always fun. Speaking of fun, here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE. We have the Mexican Terran players. I quickly, just working on casting tool, I was just reminded I need to switch something up here. Here we go. Representing Team Exxon, currently down 1-2 in this best of 5 semifinals. It is SpeCial. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Polish Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team Exxon as well, as this is a team kill. Currently up 2-1. He just needs one more, uno más, and then he moves on to the finals. It is Gerald. Gerald even. Ooh. Oh boy, SpeCial. He's up against the ropes right now, mate. He's up against them. Slips up one more time, and that's it. He's done for the tournament. He is so close to advancing on to the grand finals. He definitely has it in him. He was looking so good in game number 2. So good. Game number 3 even. My apologies. But yeah, he just fell apart towards the end there. He just couldn't keep up, and Gerald took the game. Sometimes that's all it takes, you know? You mess up once, you mess up twice, and that's it. You cannot afford to do so in these like hyper competitive matches here, especially not in the semi-finals of an ESL Open Cup. Oh boy. So we'll see how things go here. Again, SpeCial has been pretty diverse with his openers, with his builds. Last game, as a reminder, he opened up with a 2-racks opening with a couple of Reapers. It was very cheeky, I loved it. Here, this game, a lot more standard. And I guess it does make sense, as we are here on Romanticide. Romanticide is one of the larger maps, the largest map in the map pool, a lot more macro oriented. As a result, because it's so large, you can proxy if you so wish, but SpeCial doesn't want to leave it to chance. He doesn't want to flip a coin when his life is on the line. He wants to be safe and secure, and with this he opens up the most standard you can, 1-1-1, bunker on the low ground. Mate, this is TvP. Boy. So we'll see how things go here for SpeCial. Again, he's playing this very safe, very standard. Gerald does scout it. He goes all the way up to the depot with the Stalker, and he does see the 1-1-1. He sees all the add-ons as well, so he is well aware of what is coming his way. Also chips away at the Hellions as well. Does recall to be safe and secure at home, making sure he can defend. Speaking of defense, we got the offense. Gerald did not open up for a Twilight Council. I think for the first time this series. I think every single game he has opened up Twilight Council first to work on Blink. But now on Romanta's side, he is switching things up and he is going for that Stargate, opening up with an Oracle instead, looking to be a little bit aggressive across the map. And we'll see what defenses there are. This can be a little bit scary because, of course, we have a Widowmine drop on the way, but that, of course, means that the Widowmines aren't at home to defend against the Oracle. So we'll see. This time, there are 4 Widowmines. There is no armory, so detection is not required to deal with these. Meanwhile, the Hellions try to break into the natural, but there is a full wall off. But of course, once the Widowmines do come in, then these Stalkers may be forced to move out of position. At the same time, the Widowmines are looking to land. Gerald is coming in with his Oracle. Pulsar Beam is activated. Here we go. Widowmines are landed. Gerald does have eyes on them and he does split up his workers. My oh my. At the same time, 3 SCVs did go down. He does micro with his Oracle. He does back off. And here we go. The drop does land in his main base. Only 1 worker each. So 5 probes in total. But you know what? The Widowmines are still alive. These Stalkers have not left their post. And that means that more shots could go off. We'll see. One of these Widowmines will get taken out. Oh, just barely. The Widowmine was taken out. At the same time, oh, the Medevac actually dropped the Hellions into the main. And with that, 10 probes do go down, and these Widowmines will recharge. Oof. Another Stalker does go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. These Widowmines will be dealt with in the end. 12 probes go down to only 3 SCVs, and am I mistaken? Yeah, the Oracle even came home to defend as well, which was kind of unnecessary. The Oracle actually used Revelation, even though there's no armory. Like, it, again, like, that's all right. So far, so good by SpeCial. Honestly, it was pretty impressive, to be honest. As of course both players were hitting each other at the same time, and Gerald was able to split up his workers and defend, but he was really caught off guard by the Hellion drop. So in the end, SpeCial was able to come out ahead in that trade. Meanwhile, I'm honestly a little bit surprised. This Oracle has stayed at home to defend. He did not go across the map. He kind of chilled for a little bit. So this does give a lot of room for SpeCial to breathe and macro up. Hepatitis Lee of Rivia? C. Yes. Gerald is from Poland, and fun fact, the Witcher series originated in Poland and is a pretty big thing there. So yes, I believe he did name himself from the character from the Witcher series, Gerald of Rivia. Gerald even. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the Oracle is a little bit of exposed here, and it does take a lot of damage by that Cyclone. Nice stasis ward. We'll see if it does come into play. Meanwhile, ooh, the tank is a little bit exposed. Gerald, he wants it, and he doesn't get it. Is forced back. Almost loses one of the Stalkers. We'll see. Oh, stasis ward does land. And it does mean that Gerald can escape safely. Gerald, please! What? Gerald was not supply blocked, by the way. He was not clearing up supply. That was a straight up misclick. Oh no. Meanwhile, SpeCial is now pushing out across the map. Unfortunately, that Oracle is not here. It's not here to use Revelation to tag the army. It's not here to throw down more stasis wards. Oh boy. Gerald, please. I'm worried for him right now, as SpeCial is pushing out across the map with this massive army. We've got 2 tanks here. We've got a Raven for Matrix, for disables even. The Stalkers are slowly chipping away at this army. What is there to defend? There is a Disruptor. Show me that Nova. Oh, the Matrix! The disable just in time. Oh god, that was going to be a juicy connection, but it just didn't work out for Gerald. Meanwhile, SpeCial is pushing on forward. The Stalkers are trying to catch the reinforcements, but instead they find nothing. They catch death itself as 2 Stalkers do fall. Another Purification Nova is ready, and it does go off, but it does get disabled again. SpeCial! He's on top of the disables, the Raven control. Oh my god. And with that SpeCial, he's stimming forward. The bio is coming in. He focuses down the disruptor. Ay, ay, ay. Another disruptor does come out and ooh, does get a decent shot. But the damage, it's being done. Is it going to be enough though? Another disruptor does fall. Only stalkers to defend. And SpeCial is rallying across the map. Some reinforcements do show up. He focuses down the pylon, but it doesn't stop the warp in. The zealots come in just in time. And these zealots are able to push SpeCial away. Whew. Ay, ay, ay. Gerald, he's holding on. He needs to repower this robo. This robo, a disruptor could have been out by now, but it was depowered. Here comes another tank for SpeCial. Gerald, he blinks on forward and he does focus down the tank. The tank does fall. Oh, and he's trying to focus down the Liberator as well. The Liberator, oh god, the micro, he does blink past Liberation Zone. And Gerald, each time, he's just barely holding on. Oh my god, and he does snipe the Liberator. It does not get home to safety. And Gerald, this is insane. He was just barely able to hold on. And not just that, he has a third. SpeCial, his third was a little bit later. Oh my no, the mules! The mules are not mining. He landed them, but they're not doing anything. Mules, please. Oh my god, get back to work. Is that mule stuck, by the way? The mule in the back? No, okay. Ah, Juanito, please. This is scary. Gerald, he was able to defend. Now we got a fourth base on the way. We got Colossus on the way. We got disruptors coming out, extended thermal lance, all the upgrades. Oh, Gerald, he just had to hold on, and now he can actually get into the game he wants to. Meanwhile, SpeCial, of course, he is not banking off in that production, continuing to pump out more and more Marauders and Marines. He was able to keep the majority of his medevacs alive, and there we go. That transition into Ghost Academy, into Ghost, is on the way. Boy, meanwhile, SpeCial, he is looking to take out these rocks. Meanwhile, thank you so much. I didn't get to mention it as it was happening, but Dastan, thank you so much for the raid. As oh, the Nova does land. Split was okay. You know, it wasn't the most perfect shot there by Gerald. SpeCial was able to split up his army just a little bit, but now the rest of his forces are on the retreat. At the same time, this Liberator getting an insane amount of kills. 13 probes do go down. And of course, everyone, exclamation mark Funara Dastan in the chat. Dastan, of course, he is a Chilean Protoss player, and he's letting us know he just hit Diamond in Apex. Mate, the hell are you doing playing Apex Legends? Shaking my head. Dastan, por favor, please. You should be here. You needed to be here to cheer for Juanito, man. He needs your energy right now because he was looking so good. But again, he is one loss away from being knocked out of this tournament. Oh boy, and the armies miss each other. SpeCial, he does not see this coming as it hits his third base. What is there here to defend? A tank does siege up just barely in time, and there we go. We do see SpeCial does respond. Ooh, a massive Nova though in that mineral line. And the Stalkers are trying to get on top of the tank, but it looks like SpeCial has too much here. Gerald is forced back. At the same time, SpeCial does hit the third base, and the Nexus will go down. Oh my god. The disruptor was focused down as well, just barely. The Nova did not go off. The Robo goes down. Yo, this drop is dealing an insane amount of damage. There's also an SCV here. I don't know what the hell the SCV thinks it's doing, but it is here helping out as well. Oh god. Meanwhile, Gerald, he wants to catch the army. He's looking for it. He's sharking for it. Meanwhile, SpeCial knows. He knows he's between a rock and a Protoss right now, and a hard place. He does not want to get caught out, and it looks like he will be the one catching these Stalkers. Ooh, does get one. Meanwhile, the Colossus does show itself. Oh god, he's trying to focus down the Colossus, but the Colossus does micro back. And in the end, this will get cleaned up. But honestly, totally worth it. SpeCial, he killed a base. He didn't just kill a base, he killed a decent amount of workers as well. And we can see that economic graph. Look at it go in SpeCial's favor. He's looking so good right now. He's pushing across the map. How many tanks is this? He's got 7 tanks. Not as much bio as he would like. Not anymore. Oh, the ghost. Ooh. A tank does get sniped. There are 2 more Novas left here with the main army of Gerald. Oh god, SpeCial has to be so careful here. He has to make sure he's ready to split against the disruptor shots. As another shot does go off, but it does whiff. Nothing does connect. Another shot does go off. Oh! Ooh, doesn't land either. Yo, Gerald, what's going on, man? You only have, what, 2 more shots left? Ooh, meanwhile, oh god, an EMP does land, but we do see Gerald, he's slowly chipping away at this bio force. But what is scary are these tanks. The tanks are slowly leapfrogging forward. And where are the Zealots? There we go. We have a massive warp in of Zealots. Is this going to be enough for Gerald to break his opponent? The disruptor shot does go off. He gets a single Marine. That is not what you want to be seeing right now. Oh god, Gerald, he's just barely holding on. He's actually double expanding. He's taking a base here to the south. He's taking a base here to the north as well. He just needs to survive. But can he survive? Another EMP does land. Oh my god, a disruptor goes down for free as well. Only 1 disruptor remaining and the Colossus are falling. There's nothing left. SpeCial's doing it. GG gets gold. And SpeCial ties up the series 2-2. We are going to that ace match. Hold on. Exclamation mark for nada. Oh, go to join the lobby. God damn it, the stun. Alright, we're getting ready for the ace match. The map has been revealed, and I am concerned for Gerald. The final game will take place on Oxide. Oh my god. And we'll see how this plays out. We'll see who gets paid out, as of course there were predictions for this series. Gotta just get everyone in here. Ay, Jim, please. Get in this lobby, Jimena. Seriously, Jim is the worst at joining lobbies. I think every single game today, I've had to invite him. He just misses the lobby links. I'm shaking my head. My head is shook. But here we go. We have made it. This is still the lower semifinals. And we are in the ace match between these 2 players. Only one will advance on. The other, that's it. Their tournament run is done. And we'll see who it is, because spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the last remaining Protoss in the entire tournament. He is, of course, the European Protoss, hailing from the land of Poland, representing Team Exxon. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the last remaining North American player, representing Latin America, North America, the land of the Americas, the land of the free, as well as Team Exxon. As this is a team kill, we're tied up, we're 2-2, it is SpeCial. Spam these Doritos to cheer for Juanito. Mate, he needs them. He needs them right now if he wants to go to the grand finals. Can he do it against Protoss? Right now, being a little bit cheeky with the engineering bay block. The NG block. We don't see that too often, not gonna lie. Nice start. Gerald hasn't even seen it, as Gerald is busy across the map being as aggressive as possible with that probe. Wasn't able to delay the the racks for too long. And I'm just quickly checking the vision. Here we go. The probe goes down. He wants a Nexus and he cannot get it, as there is an engineering bay forced. Is he going to expand at his third base? Oh my god. Forced to take the unnatural natural. My oh my. Not ideal here for Gerald. Nicely done by SpeCial. We'll see if this comes into play. Obviously, it does mean that it's a little bit more difficult to defend your main and natural mineral lines, especially when it comes to early harass. I would love like a strong 2-base push to come out here from SpeCial and hit one of these bases. They're quite vulnerable. There we go. SpeCial, he confirms that the natural was taken at the 3rd base location. He knows. What does he do with that information? We see a factory being thrown down right now, going for a bit of a 1-1. Supply blocked for a little bit. It's not the worst thing though. Does finish up just in time. Meanwhile, Dastan asking for a besito. Mate, it's not happening. Shaking my head, Dastan. Shaking my head. Here we go. Gerald going for his Twilight Council opening. No more Stargate, unlike the previous game. As a reminder to everyone, last game he opened up Stargate. The Oracle had some nice moves, and then he killed his own Oracle. Feels bad, man. Don't want to be an Oracle under the leadership of Gerald. And we'll see how this turns out. We got a robotics bay on the way here. Sorry, robotics facility on the way here for Gerald as well. At the natural. A little bit exposed, not gonna lie. A little bit concerned for its life, but we'll see. We'll see how things go here. Meanwhile, the Adept does get across the map. He does see all of the Marines. Is aware of at least the reactor on that bunker. Has not managed to get into the main base though, so he doesn't know about the 1-1-1. Oh. There's also a tech lab on that starport. Of course, the standard thing to do is to go into a Raven from here. We shall see if he does so, or if he switches his factory with his starport for some tank production instead, and focuses on medevac production from that starport instead. See? Oh, there it is. Raven. Meanwhile, Gerald, of course, he is slowly ramping up, getting into the swing of things. We got more gateways on the way. We got Blink on the way, as we would expect. Ooh, we got an Immortal coming out as well. Oh my. As the Huluk does get dealt with. Honestly, the more standard thing to see is a Warp Prism. Of course, you go Blink, you get a Warp Prism, and then you go with your Warp Prism across the map, and maybe, you deal some damage, you apply some pressure, you be aggressive. But yeah, interesting decision here by Gerald. Meanwhile, ooh, the Hellions do get into the main mineral line. Sorry, the natural mineral line. 6 probes already going down. 7 even. My oh my. And Gerald being greedy. He's going straight into a robotics bay. He wants to get into those Colossus incredibly fast. I mean, to be fair, if you can start Colossus production early and defend early, then you can have a pretty strong Colossus count by the time, we get into the mid game. It can be pretty scary, but we'll see what SpeCial's working towards. Again, I would have expected him to have been, or to work up towards a pretty strong 2-base push. Again, that's what I was hoping for as we were getting into the beginning of the game. But we'll see if that's what he has in mind for us. Okay, he's going for another Widowmine drop. He loves his Widowmine drops, man. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they try to slip into the natural base, into the main base even. He sees no Nexus for now. Doesn't see it thrown down, but he can assume. Meanwhile, here we go. The drop is on the way, head towards the bottom right-hand base. At the same time, the Raven going towards the main. Very reminiscent of game number 2. Sorry, game number 4. The last game. And we'll see as these stalkers are moving, trying to catch that Raven, but the Raven actually comes back home. Interesting decision, as the Widow Mines are dropped into the natural base. The medevac was picked off, and so will these Widow Mines. Not ideal, but what this does do is this does reveal the Colossus of Gerald. So SpeCial is well aware of the fact that, hey, Gerald committed into this tech early on. He spent his gas on a robotics bay. He's working on Colossus. I can cross off a couple of things. I know like there's no Dark Shrine or DTs or anything crazy like that. There's no Stargate follow-up. And now he's pushing out. Again, it doesn't matter if you've got a Colossus. I've got a Raven. Mate, keep that Raven alive. Keep it alive, mate. What are you doing? Oh god, the Raven already taking a little bit of damage, but it's so important to keep alive to disable that Colossus. Oh, here comes the Raven. Oh, never mind, never mind. At the same time, we do have a little bit of a run by, a weird marine run by in the main base. Here we go. The Raven does dive in, does disable one of the Colossus, both Colossus. Oh my, there's no shield battery. Okay, there is a shield battery in the back. Oh my god, I was so concerned. Meanwhile, the main army is kind of force fielded out of the natural base, so the Colossus, sorry, the Marines, they can dive in. And they can focus down the Nexus. And they do get it, not just the Nexus, he goes all the way into the main base. What's scary is that the Matrixes have run out on those Colossus, but yo, the split is on point here by SpeCial. And in the end, this will get cleaned up, but oh my, he was able to escape with his medevac as well. I was a little bit concerned, but the damage was done. He killed the Nexus, keeping Gerald on 2-base economy, while he himself lands his own third. And oh my god, I didn't even see this. He kept his Raven alive. Repair it, please. It's got 8 HP. I fear for your life, Raven. Get repaired. Oh my god. But yeah, nicely done there by SpeCial. A solid timing, disabling both Colossus, really catching Gerald in an awkward position, just zoning out his army at the third base, being able to take out the base here at the natural location. Really nicely done there by SpeCial. Now Gerald is in a really rough place. I kind of want him to double expand. I'm not gonna lie, like he needs to spend his money. He needs bases. He's getting his third up, which is great, but he's so far behind the Terran right now. He's throwing down some more gateways. He's actually throwing down a second robo, so he's gonna have double robo production, which I guess is great and all. He needs time though. That's the biggest thing. Gerald needs a little bit more time to really get back into the swing of things, get some more Colossus, get a beefy army. But SpeCial is not looking to give him that time. SpeCial is going across the map here. We got plenty of Marines, plenty of Marauders, we got some Vikings, we got the Raven fully repaired, max HP. Ready to disable some more Colossus and Disruptors. Again, that was beautiful. I didn't get to talk about it after the game, but the disables on the Disruptors, oh god, they were amazing last game. Meanwhile, a bit of a Zealot run by, only 2 Zealots though, not the biggest of deals. The main army does rotate down here once again. Yo, he gets into the natural. Oh god, the EMPs do land. Where are the disables? Oh, the Vikings are killing all the Colossus. Disable lands on the Disruptor. SpeCial is having his way with Gerald right now. Once again, the Nexus gets sniped. And I think that is all she wrote. What is there left here for Gerald? He has 1 Disruptor. That's all he's got. And 1 Disruptor is not enough because it goes down. It gets sniped. SpeCial, he's here in the main base. GG gets called, and Juanito, SpeCial himself, moves on to the grand finals. GG, well played. Congratulations. And we are having that TvZ finals. Wow. All right, we are headed over to Asia. Congratulations, SpeCial. He looked so goddamn good that game. Wow. Not just that game, the last 2 games, honestly. Like, he was on fire. He really found his groove. And with that, he does advance on to the grand finals to face Solar in that TVZ. And not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little bit worried for SpeCial. To be fair, obviously we have to bear in mind Gerald played well to get all the way to the semis and to go to that ace match. We have to bear in mind that it is at an awful time right now for Gerald. It's like 4 or 5 a.m. That is also why Rotterdam is also dipping out as well. He is no longer casting. That was his last series because, again, 1, his EU boys are out of the tournament. 2, he needs to go to bed. He needs to get some rest.